Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's accommodation webinar. We'll wait for a couple of more minutes to join. More minutes for more attendees to join, and then we'll start with our webinar. So let's start with our today's accommodation webinar. And my name is Siddhi Raut, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our attendees. Thank you for joining us today. So we have a very informative session lined up filled with valuable insights and interactive discussions to help you choose the best accommodation. So before we get started, I'm excited to introduce our speaker for the day, Ms. Muskaan Arora. Hi, Muskaan. So Muskaan will be the speaker for the day today. Will be sharing her expert advice on accommodation services, answering all your questions, and guiding you through the process of finding the right accommodation. And also, along with that, we would like to hear your questions by the end of this webinar. So, you can also keep posting your questions on chats while Muskaan is talking. Muskaan will be discussing. And at the end, we can have an Q&A round where, so that you can have all your doubts cleared. And, along with that, if you all have any doubts, at the end, you all can just raise your hand so that I'll allow you to unmute yourself and you can ask your questions to Muskaan. Yeah, Muskaan, over to you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think it's very crucial to talk about accommodation, and I understand the anxiety that a lot of students would have. I've been here myself. I am an alumni of a US university, and I've experienced all of these that everyone is experiencing right now, promotions, not being able to know what to prioritize first, what to prioritize second, the admission process. And I think getting the right information at the right stage is very, very crucial for helping them make an informed decision. So that's why I'm here to give you a little bit of a brief around accommodation. I think there's a lot of information on the internet, what you should take in and what you shouldn't, and what's the right filtration. That's very, very crucial. So yeah, I am going to give you a little bit of an insight and help you understand accommodation and the process better. I am from University Living. We are partnered with IMS for their accommodation. University Living is a global student housing marketplace, and we've been in this industry for over 7 years now. We've helped millions of students. Our headquarters is based in our Noida office in India, but we do have these marketing offices in London, Melbourne, Kampur, Southeast Asia, and one in Toronto very soon. And that's because we want to vet and verify these properties before we put it up on the internet. We have a virtual tour in place and all the right information about the property so that once the student gets to their property, they don't feel like what they saw before and what they're seeing now are two different things. We have our online presence. I think what is the most crucial point in your accommodation journey is the time you book your accommodation. So timing plays a very crucial role as to how many options you're going to get, what price points you're going to get, and it can make or break your journey. So I don't want you to wait till the last moment. I think that's why we're doing this webinar at this point in the journey, is to let everybody know that's very crucial to book your accommodation at the right moment. So when I say right moment, to kind of put a pin into it, when you have gotten an offer letter and you finalize this is the university you're going to, that's the right point to book your accommodation. You don't have to wait till you don't have to wait till your unconditional offer letters. I will tell you why, but that's when you should book your accommodation. Because when you book early, you have multiple options to choose from. There are early bird discounts, you get your desired room type. If you are 4 friends and you want to get a place together, so there's enough availability to place everybody together. The more we delay, the prices are going to increase because, of course, there's the demand and supply situation. So the closer we get to the intake, the prices are going to be getting extremely high. Also, very limited availability is going to be there. So you have to kind of pick and choose from what the leftovers are, and nobody wants to choose from that, right? And I think it's very important for students to realize this is going to be your home away from home. And if you get stuck with something that you're not happy, it's going to make or break your journey there. Right? So come early, look at multiple options, get something that fits all your requirements. Don't settle for anything less. And if you come timely and you get all of these options, you get the desired room type, it's just a lot smoother and easier. And if you come 5 days before your flight, then Muskaan, I needed a place to stay, I will show you whatever is available. At that point, I can't tell you that, oh, you needed a studio, I don't have that anymore. Or if you wanted it in sharing, sorry, that's not available. And then whatever is, you take that, right? But if you come to me 3 to 4 months before you're flying out. You can tell me X number of requirements and we can find something that fits all of that, because we have the liberty of time in our hand. So booking an accommodation early is very, very crucial at this stage. Now, let me just take you through the types of accommodation that are available that can help you kind of choose and pick which type of accommodation you're looking for and sits well with your requirements. So the first is definitely going to be PBSAs, which are purpose-built student accommodation. These accommodations are only built for students. So anybody living in this building holds a student status in that particular country. These are fully furnished, and all your utility bills like your Wi-Fi, water, electricity, heat, gas, all of that is already included in your rent. So you don't have to worry when my rent is due, when my Wi-Fi bill is due, when my water bill is due. Oh, I forgot to pay my electricity. You don't have to worry about any of that. That's all included in your rent, and you get an installment plan from the very beginning, and you just have to pay your installments. That's all you have to do. Because these are only for students, so you get to network a lot at these accommodations. There are a lot of networking activities, cultural bonding activities, and student related activities that happen at these accommodations. They have the gym, cinema hall, all of these facilities, and because they're only built for students, they're either walkable distance to the university or walkable distance to a public transport that helps you get to the university. They do come with a fixed tenancy because they're built for students. So they're built around the course durations at the university. So they have a fixed tenancy generally for ranging between 44 weeks to 51 weeks. And they're only for students. So if you are traveling with a spouse, then this would not be an option for you. But anybody holding a student status is a great option. Also extremely safe and extremely secure. So this is one of the options that most students opt for, and it's very popular amongst them. The second that we have are private apartments or a house of multiple occupants. Now, these are like service apartments, right? I went to a pre-departure of the university. I met 4-5 students. We're all friends now, and we want to live together, right? For that, you can rent out an entire unit. So for example, you're a group of 3 students looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. You can rent out the apartment on its own. Now, the disadvantages sometimes of the apartments can be that they can be as far or as near the university. So it's a very customizable option, right? A landlord isn't buying a property based off of the university distance. So this needs slightly more time as compared to the PBSA as well when we're trying to find this option for you, because this is very customized. The utility bills may or may not be included, depends from landlord to landlord, letting agent to letting agent, right? It might be fully furnished, it might be semi-furnished. So in this situation, one property is very different from another. So the house that I live in and how I furnish it, or the house that one of you live in, it's going to be very different. And when we rent it out, it's going to come with its own advantages and disadvantages, right? So that's exactly how the private accommodation setup looks like. These are privately owned, these are with private landlords. So one apartment can be different from another, and this is a more customizable solution. So you tell me that, hey, Muskaan, I need these 10 things in the apartment that I'm looking for. You find a customized solution for me. That's where we go for the private apartments. It's also very, very suitable for students who are transitioning from a student status to a working professional status as well. So it's very beneficial for those students because they're no longer allowed to live on campus or at these PBSAs. So this can be one of those options. The third is for my students who always have the mindset that I'm going to go there and then find something on my own. I want to bust that myth that nobody's waiting at the airport, waiting to take you to the accommodation options and show you options, but there will always be a bunch of students who would want to go and explore there. For those friends of mine, there's homestays available. They have more flexible tenancies. See, if you see for a PBSA, it's 44 weeks to 51 weeks. For also a private accommodation, any landlord is at least looking at a 6-month long tenancy, right? But homestays is very flexible. You can book for 2 days, you can book for 12 weeks, you can book for like 2 years, right? Homestays is a very similar to bed and breakfast concept. The host family stays in the house and then they give you access to a portion of their house to reside, right? The zone does get a lot of undivided attention from the host. You can decide to spend as much or as little time with the host family. And of course, if you spend more time with the host family, you get to know a lot more about the area very quickly because the host has been living there for a very long time. So now if you're looking for maybe, Muskaan, I don't want to book from here. I'm going to go view there and I don't want to make a decision. All right, you book at least a 10-day stay from India. You get there, you figure out a longer accommodation system, but at least you have a roof on your head when you're landing to a new country, right? Also at the immigration, you can be asked that where will you be living, right? And how many days are you going to book a hotel for, right? So homestays can be a good option for a shorter tenancy or a more flexible tenancy. I'm coming to cancellation policies now, because I think if the students who joined us earlier would know that I talked about booking your accommodation early, and everybody would have that in their mind that if I don't have a visa, how can I book my accommodation? So I think these two cancellation policies are very crucial here. There is a no visa, no pay policy. So what that means is if you do get a visa refusal, your deposit amount is refunded, but you just have to inform the property within 48 hours of the visa refusal. And similarly for your unconditional offer letter. So if you had a conditional offer letter and you booked your accommodation, and in any case you're unable to fulfill those criteria, and you don't get an unconditional, you just have to submit the proof of rejection from the university, and that also has to be done within 48 hours, and then your deposit would be refunded and your lease would be cancelled. So these two properties enable students to book their accommodation very early on in their journey and not wait till the last moment. So I think the cancellation policies and booking an accommodation early kind of fits everything together and helps and enables the student to book their accommodation in a timely manner. Security, other properties all have CCTV cameras all across. There's 24/7 concierge service. There's also secure door entry. So what that means is every student gets an access card, and you can only enter with that access card. So if you don't have the access card, you can't enter the building. You can't definitely not enter the room that way, right? So this, it kind of assures utmost security for the students. The major 5 countries that we have are the 5 English-speaking countries, which is US, Canada, Australia, UK, and Ireland. We also do parts of Europe, so Germany, France, Poland, and then we also have Dubai and Singapore. So, and the private accommodation kind of enables us to find these customized solution anywhere in the world that you need us to. A little sneak peek at the properties for you to get an idea. I think most of the popular cities are covered presentation, but we do have ample supply that we can't really put it up on one presentation. UK has always been our baby. Both our founders are UK alumni. So in UK, anything and everything that you need, we can get it done for you. Ireland has been a challenge lately. We all know the availability crisis, but we do have ample supply in Dublin. We have also kind of bought a few rooms of our own, so we can give you a more customized solution in Dublin as well. Perfect. So this is me, Muskaan, and this was a little more information. I think students' questions and a question and answer round would be more helpful for students to get a little more information.
Yeah, so if you all have any questions, please put it in chat, or maybe you all can just raise your hand and I'll give you the access to. Yeah.
Hi, Muskaan. I just wanted to understand the difference between PBSA and an ensuite. I mean, what is the major difference between an SA and ensuite if I'm a student?
So PBSA and private accommodation are 2 property types, whereas ensuite is a room type. So ensuite means private bedroom, private bathroom. Your kitchen and living space is shared, right? So you can get that in a PBSA, which is built for students, fully furnished, all bills included, close to the university. And you can also get in a private accommodation. So if you and your friend, you want to take a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, you do get the same room type, which is private bedroom, private bathroom, shared living and kitchen space. So room types are, let me take you through that as well. I think it maybe helps all the students. So we have a studio, which is private bedroom, private bathroom, your own kitchenette, and your own small living space. So like a 1 RK in India. Then there's an ensuite, which is a private bedroom, private bathroom. Your living and kitchen space is shared. And there's a non-ensuite. So you just get a private bedroom, but you share your bathroom, your kitchen, your living space, right? And then there's a twin ensuite, which is 2 people in the same bedroom. So you're sharing everything. It goes without saying, more privacy, more price, less privacy, more friendlier on the pocket. So these are the room types that you could get both at PBSs and private accommodation. So That's the difference. So PBS and private accommodation are two property types, whereas the studio, ensuite, non-ensuite are the room types. Does that answer your question, Priya?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah, hello. I just wanted to check, like, if I am moving to United Kingdom and if I don't have any of my friends along with me and I am from South India, so can I get some local friends over there to stay with me?
So I'll tell you. So the PBSs that you book one room in that entire apartment. So it's not your headache as to who's going to cover the rest of the space, how big the apartment is going to be. All you have to do is just book your own room, right? And once you kind of move into that apartment, there are going to be other people from the same university or other universities nearby, and you're going to kind of then make friends there. Also, we get a lot of students, and same as IMS, so a couple of students are going to the same university, we can try and kind of put them up in the same accommodation, and you can make friends from here as well. But just to let you know, no student should worry that, oh, if it's a 3-bedroom apartment, I only have to fill all of them. In a BSA, you don't have to do that. In BSA, you only book your own room. In private accommodations, because you're renting out an entire unit, you will have to get the friends along to fill in the unit. But for a BSA, you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay, I think that was it. And so thank you for conducting such a clear and well explained webinar for accommodation. And we greatly appreciate the thorough explanation about the ideal time to book the accommodation, because students usually they certainly wait until last moment. And so your advice on early booking will maybe help them better and avoid unnecessary stress.
And I think all the students who did attend should let their friends also know about the timeline, because that's the most crucial part. Everything else, as in terms of information when they come to us, but coming at the right time is very crucial.
Yeah. So that was really nice. And apart from that, the breakdown, the differences between PBSA, HMOs, and the homestay was very, very valuable, because it is very difficult to understand the pros and cons of each and every accommodation that a student books. And it was a really insightful session for students. And thank you for such an informative session today. I think it will certainly help students to make informed decisions about their accommodation moving forward.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Muskaan.